Having interviewed probably thousands of chief executives, CFO, COOs, this is one of the key mistakes I see made at interview level with private equity backed organizations and of course private equity firms directly. One is an absolute basic one, and that's not doing your research on the company and the portfolio business that you're looking to explore, and obviously coupled with that, the actual private equity firm. Private equity investors are that. They are investors. They don't run organizations. They don't run portfolio companies. Some of them make the transition, but the majority of them remain in the private equity firm. They're very good at due diligence. They're very good at assessing the business's capabilities to growth. They are not experts at running an organization. The reason that they are interviewing you is because you should be in order to grow that business. So making sure that you've done your research on the organization, you can bring to the table the right questions, the right information, and the right market knowledge to present to these guys because you've done your research into the products, the services, the business itself, the growth trajectory of that industry, the growth trajectory of that market, the growth trajectory of the customer base, the potential strengths of this industry, the potential weaknesses of this industry, and obviously the opportunities. Where you need to be looking at doing a SWOT analysis of businesses before you're going in for interview with them. So you can demonstrate to the private equity firm that you have that knowledge. You then need to couple that with your experience. Too many executives go into interviews and they don't demonstrate what they've done previously. Private equity firms, by my recommendation, build scorecards. Those scorecards look at what they need to implement in the first 90 days, what they need to implement in between the 90 days and the 4 or 5 years to exit, and what they need to implement at the last year when taking it through to an exit. Most private equity firms start with the immediate needs and the end needs of the exit process. You need to do both of them and then fill the gap in the middle. It's likely that this business will need a change of X, Y, and Z, and you find this out by asking them. My experience is this in doing this, ERP implementation. My experience in doing this in M&A. My experience is in doing this in the integration. Most private equity firms get the integration part wrong. They can acquire portfolio companies and they can do the due diligence. It's their job. But most private equity firms miss and get the integration of 2 portfolio companies coming together, 1 main portfolio, 1 add-on. So make sure that you can demonstrate what you've done across your career that's relevant for what the outcome's here. Now, the question you need to ask before you start selling your experience and your perspective is, what does success look like for this organization? Ask that question, get the right information so that you can position your experience in line with what they're looking for. The second question is going to be, what challenges do you foresee in achieving that level of success? Well, we need an ERP, we need to do this, we need to do that. The senior management team needs changing. The chief financial officer is going to retire in 2 years. We have a problem with manufacturing processes. We have a problem with our distribution. We have issues with our supply chain. You can then use your experience to demonstrate what you've done previously to show them that you have the level of experience and knowledge to execute on that, and bring to the table solutions for them. I recommend that you do this. Share, share, share. If you don't get the job, that's fine. You're not giving away any proprietary data. Everybody knows everything. Everybody has someone who can find something, who finds some of the information that you know. Share up front. Be really open about how they can support it, and treat yourself a little bit like you're a coach and consultant going in there. I guarantee you will be highly likely to get this role. Another mistake here is over-talking. Now, in an interview, we want to demonstrate our experience, but we don't tend to listen. Now, there's a few variables here. One is asking really good detailed questions, letting the flow go back and forth, answering those questions and being probing. Secondly is, when you're dealing with private equity investors and portfolio founders, board members, what tends to happen is we tend to talk a lot to the private equity investors because, frankly, they're not chief executives, they're not CFOs for the most part. They want to learn what they think should be done with this business. But when we speak to board members, founders, other executives in the team, we tend to over-exert ourselves and we tend to over-talk. My recommendation is to do more listening in those conversations than you've done with the private equity investors. If you're looking for a new opportunity within a private equity-backed portfolio company across Europe and North America, then please reach out to us at Raw Selection. We place C-suite executives into the lower and middle market private equity-backed companies, again, across Europe and North America.